Alright guys, welcome back. Okay, so I've been jumping around from Siphon build to the most current build with the back to the front and the instant fusions, right? And I feel like this should have been obvious. Game one, this game was really weird, really awkward. Like we both opened up really interactive, but with very suboptimal engine cards. Like he didn't see no Gazelle, he just saw this is he plays Foxer. Interesting. So he was baking on his Stallion to resolve, and I'm just basically just interacting with my Veiler, my impermanence. A minus it's like a -1, like -2, because he still kept his Stallion, so it's like but let me just quickly fast forward this game, because this is not what I want to talk about. I don't know why I didn't set the double back to the front, like, and this is what just snowballs and just gets the hold of the game. But there's game one's only game one, man. Game one's only game one. Okay, this is the game I want to talk about. Game two, because this is what I want to showcase, right? Okay, so like I said, if you keep 1-for-1 in your opponent, it can be a bit strenuous, because the top decks right now can recur quite an abundance of resources, right? Whereas this deck it's more like it's interactive, and I guess it's not, you don't like generate a bunch of resources. It's just basically hinder your opponent while maintaining tempo to your pace, right? And then having the consistency of constantly summoning your Stardust, which is your +1s, I guess. If we're yeah, basically your +1, because it requires one card to make it, right? You negate one of their cards and you get your card back in the end phase. That's basically it's a +1. That's your resource advantage or resource gain, right? But you can't keep doing that, and that's why I've noticed that, like, I kept depleting my hand, like 1-for-1ing, -1ing, and stopping my opponent. But I felt like it would just became too strenuous on your resources. So like of course you have to be wise, and you have to be smart with what you're negating. Like with any competitive decision, right? Like you just have to make sure you stop the right thing and interact at the right time, and know how long to hold the card. And what Sanctum does, it basically is like a cheat sheet. Basically, it allows you to just flip it, and that's it. It just there's not much to it. It just ends your opponent's turn. Like, you know, because Stalaman thrives off the extra deck. Orcus thrives off the extra deck. Danger Thunder, like, again, unless they hard open 11-year, or like a way to summon 11-year, they're like, they'll pass. They can't really do anything, you know. They can summon like a 2k beater, like a Thunder Dragon, you know. But like, that's not really how they win. They win through the extra deck, right? And that's what Sanctum does. It just completely shuts down the extra deck. So ideally, you'd want to open up a way to Star Reflector, Sentinel, and Sanctum, right? Because you have basically a turn ender and a Solemn Judgment on leg, 3,000, and they're gonna get a 2200 monster the following turn, right? So then, unless you're playing a back row deck, that's the only time Sanctum does not shine, because they're just gonna set back row and pass. But majority of the top decks right now are quite aggro and thrive off the extra deck. So, which is why Sanctum, it's just, I don't even know why it wasn't so obvious at the start. Like, just so good. And the fact that it's a level 5 is huge, because you can just summon an Ash, summon in a Bell, and then just Synchro summon into a level 8, or Synchro summon to a Stardust, and then have your Salt Mode activate live. That's huge. And the fact that you play triple back to the front means you're gonna be scything multiple times. So you're gonna be like, that's how like, you don't have to worry about any extra deck, nothing. That's how decks basically out resource you, right? They go Nightmare, Phoenix, and the Unicorn, Orcus. You know, they have contingency plans. But if you completely eliminate that, you're just basically going to win the game, because you're going to keep summoning out to speed 3k beaters that are just going to be negating everything. And let me just show you exactly how it looks like. This is exactly what it looks like. Okay, you go through the motion, you do everything according to plan, you summon your mighty Stardust, and you set and you pass, right? Set, pass, okay? And then now, right? Okay, look at all of his hand, right? Okay, what's the whole purpose of all these monsters, right? They're geared towards the extra deck. Alone, they're really small little guys. They're not really strong, are they? They're not. The only interactive cards that he actually has is MST and Ogre. These other 4 cards are completely dead thanks to Scythe. One card nullifies a majority of his hand, and that's insane in Yu-Gi-Oh card resources. Because like one card deals with 4 cards. Why wouldn't you want that? That's insane, right? And look, just let it play it out, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Okay? That's one interaction. He has one interaction left, right? And there it is. Okay, right here there was a miscommunication. I was meaning to do it on when he summoned the Spinny, like from Grave, but like yeah, because like that's another resource that he just would have lost, right? If he discarded it, special summoned it, and he can't link it away. It's just gonna stay there. It's just gonna serve as a wall, and then it's gonna get banished on my turn. Okay, I'm gonna tackle over it, and then that's another resource that he's just not gonna have. Whereas now he just still has it, so it's a potential threat, right? Okay, so then here it is, and look at that. There. What's he gonna do now? I still have impermanence. I have a Stardust in the end phase. Like what's gonna happen here? Like what's gonna happen? Nothing's gonna happen. It's just gonna scoop. How huge is that, man? That's like I was like, oh my god. And the thing that's most exciting is that you can do it multiple times. You can like I'll go more in depth when I showcase the extra deck. But let's go ahead and play it out. This is brutal, right? This is brutal. This is just brutal. Like he hard minus. He -1, and then he just raids quits like. So here, let him shuffle his deck, and he just raids quits. Oh my god, this is crazy. Okay, let me go ahead and show you the deck. All right, here's the deck list. Okay, so I've been playing over like 60 card build for quite some time, like all last year, beginning of this year. Like I'm not like a stranger to that. So going above 40 is not much of a big deal anymore. Like it used to be in the past. My OCD was just like, oh, it has to be under 40. Like whenever even 41, I was like, oh, it was just like you just gathered this stress that it wasn't under 40. But like yeah, 42 is fine. Like it's not much of a big deal. Like as much as like I guess everyone is like, oh, it's the optimal number. Like it's the optimal. Like there might be like some calculations that make it justifiable, but like it's just basic OCD. Like oh, it's just how it's been for all of Yu-Gi-Oh. You know, it's always been that way. The minimal means the best. You know, so like, but once you break out of that shell, once you break out of that, I guess that mindset, your deck building just it just becomes much more fluid. You won't stress about it. You're like, okay, you know, it's gonna be fine. But of course, calculations, ratios do have merit to it because there's some proof to it. But like, I don't know how random you can shuffle. You know, it's not like it's not distributed evenly towards like an actual randomization. It's not a machine. But yeah, okay. So here's the deck list. Okay, so at first I was main decking evenlies, right? Because I needed some equalizer, but that's basically what Sanctum acts as, right? It's meant to equalize all the resources that your opponent might generate through the extra deck, which is something that can be a bit strenuous. But Sanctum, I don't know, just amazing. Back to the front it, like you basically have 4 sides, basically. Like I was even considering playing Trap Tricks because you could just set and activate, set back to the front, set impermanence, set of course set Sanctum, like so it just hires the consistency of seeing that, right? And then of course if you hide the account, that means the odds of you seeing your Stardust summons are getting lower and lower as well. But then that means lowering the chances of seeing this as well. So that's a bit like a bit of an issue because you want to see this, but as of right now, it seems like you see it a bit much. I don't know. It just seems like it seems just right now. It's so far so good. And then the side decks, the main ones that I feel like are like I feel like okay, I need to play these. Like our Lancia is basically another ghost spell. It's an answer to Call But the Grave, and they can't banish anything for a Thunder Dragon, Orchist. They can't Dino. They can't banish anything, which is what I really like. And then Pankratops is just an all-around good card right now. It's just insane. And then Reboot, because you have the option to nuke the board against Rogue. It's just hard not to play. You just have to. And then Sphere Mode is it's one of those cards like I'm still like on the fence about. Like it can be helpful, but you need your normal summon. But I'm not sure if it's like enough. You know, I don't know. Just like I don't know. But yeah, like Scythe, man. Okay, you see a Scrap Dragon. Okay, something that I was noticing against Subterror. Because I've been playing against a lot of Subterror on Dueling Book. I wish I still have the replay. Okay, so this guy is huge against them. So no, I was like, without me knowing, I was like, okay, that's okay. I'll just make Thousand Eyes or I forgot what I did. I made Thousand Eyes and I just linked it away and then I passed or something. I'm not sure how. I'm pretty sure I did it for a reason, but I ended up Call But the Graving it. But I mean, I called Back to the Fronting it, and then I summoned it. And I'm like, I was reading it. I was like, other monsters on the field cannot change their battle position or attack. And then I was like, wait, Guru can't go to defense, can't flip itself face down. Fiendish can't negate because it needs to put it face down. Hidden City can't change it. Their consistency is gone. Their interaction is gone. So all they're left with is just their back row. And so what I like to do is I like taking their stuff and then making a Scrap Dragon, popping it. And it was just always like a little lock. If they kept setting or whatever, I'll just take it and then pop it with Scrap and re-equip. It was just it was hilarious. It was really, really cool. And then of course you see Stardust Charge Warrior. This is just something I'm trying out because it can clear boards, right? Like against a Salamangreat board. I guess you would have something else previously, right? You wouldn't just go to this just to go to it. You would do it like if it made sense. So like you would it can get over Wolf, it can get over Dweller, it can get over or it can crash the Stalio. So what you do is you run over Stalio, right? If they save it or not, doesn't matter. Okay, that's if they do save it. Okay, save it, that's fine. And then with the rest, you just Kamikaze. You start a charge because you draw anyway, so you're just gonna replace itself. So you run over Wolf, run over a Dweller, and then crash with the Stalio, and then that's it. And you get it just seemed pretty cool. Just the fact that you have that as an option is it's just quite intriguing. But that's basically the deck, man. It's trying to make it work. A lot of you have been. Oh my god, let me just. Salt. Oh. Okay, a lot of you are like, oh, why don't you play TG Hurricane? Why don't you play Reboot or play this card? These are all situational cards that already you don't want to add to the brick city. Like you don't want to add more bricks. Like as it is, you already have 6. You don't want to do that. Like you just don't want to do that. Like, the fact that you need to, the fact that if you would much rather risk just opening one and not have it like not be able to summon it than having a chance of like seeing another dead card that requires you to actually have something resolve. It's like if you have this in hand, okay, then this has to resolve, and then like it was just too much of a headache. And then of course this one as well. Like why would you like? Well, Stardust is enough. Like it's interactive as enough as it is, and like this is just getting too greedy. And then the Reboot one is not really, you know, like I don't know. Just in my opinion, I don't think you need it. The most simpler it is, the better it is, and it'll be more consistent. But yeah, that's basically gonna be it. Go ahead and try it out, man. Go ahead and try it. It's so far it's pretty cool. I really like the Sanctum. And that's gonna be it. Like, subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.